Hey, good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you are in this this great country. All the time zones watching us today. What a weird intro, Frank. What am I doing right now?
I don't know. Happy week 3. I'm happy
I'm
it's
on
here.
tilt because I'm like, who do I start? Devontae Freeman or Wayne Gallman? That's literally one of my decisions, and I have no idea what to do. Oh, man. How are you, Frank? You doing better than I am?
I'm doing a little bit better than that. I don't have any Giants running back decisions to make today, but if you had to, I would rank Deion Lewis, Wayne Gallman, and Devontae Freeman, but don't really feel great about any of them.
All right, that's it. I'm going Wayne Gallman over Devontae Freeman. Thank you, Frank. If I lose, I'm coming back. Well, I'm going to lose anyway because I have that decision to make, so I'm in a bad spot. We welcome you all. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. It's Sunday afternoon. We got an hour before the games start. Julio Jones is inactive today. So we are going to have a lot of questions about Russell Gage and about Matt Ryan and all that. And how do you feel about Matt Ryan this week? This is his toughest matchup going up against the Bears. Do you still consider him a must start? And how about like maybe a Ben Roethlisberger or Ryan Tannehill compared to Matt Ryan?
Yeah, I would take Ben Roethlisberger over Matt Ryan. I like what I've seen from Roethlisberger so far. I'm not really scared of the matchup going up against the Houston Texans. I think Matt Ryan, depends what you consider must start, but I think he's still just inside the top 12 quarterbacks this week. He's a back-end starter for me. The Bears defense is still pretty damn solid, but I expect a lot of pass volume from Matt Ryan. I don't know that they're going to be able to run the ball all that successfully with Todd Gurley. So because of that volume, I think that he is a low-end starting quarterback.
Well, ask us your questions all throughout the hour. Chris Towers will join us in a little bit. Jonnu Smith or Evan Ingram from Yitzy P. Jonnu Smith or Evan Ingram?
Jonnu Smith for me. He is the tight end 1 through the first 2 weeks. There is no A.J. Brown, so I would expect, 6 to 8 targets for Jonnu Smith in this game.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling or Corey Davis from Minnick here. And this is interesting because we don't expect Devontae Adams to play, but he hasn't been ruled out. So MVS or Corey Davis?
Yeah, I'll go back to the Titans there. I think Corey Davis has looked solid through the first 2 weeks. He's probably going to see 6 or 7 targets in that game as well. It's a good matchup going up against the Minnesota Vikings. MVS, is he going to see Marshawn Lattimore? He hasn't been great either. I think it's a pretty easy call for me, Corey Davis.
All right, this is from Goldstone. Which backup running back do you prefer, Tony Pollard, Boston Scott, or Benny Snell?
To start? Or
no, I think just the roster. Just the roster. Pollard, Scott, or Snell?
I will go with Pollard. I think he has the highest upside if something were to happen to Ezekiel Elliott.
PPR league, Logan Thomas in what's looking like a great matchup against a team that has really struggled to cover tight ends in Cleveland, and Dalton Schultz, what might be a bad matchup against the Seahawks, although I really think we're looking at like 65 points in that game. So Logan Thomas or Dalton Schultz?
Yeah, I like Logan Thomas. I have him a few spots higher than Dalton Schultz. Don't love the matchup. The Seahawks actually have been great against tight ends this year. I think that might have something to do with Jamal Adams joining the defense. And Logan Thomas, while he wasn't good in week 2, still is seeing a lot of volume, especially in the red zone as well. So I'll go Logan Thomas.
All right, I got a couple things to tell you about here. We're just getting started. Again, we're live until just before 1 p.m. Eastern. And we are answering a bunch of your questions, so keep them coming here. Now, we got the home team watch party presented by Lowe's next Sunday, and that's going to be a really special one for the Chiefs and the Patriots, 4 p.m. Eastern. Who's joining us? So last week, we had Dante Hall of the Chiefs and Sean Merriman of the Chargers, and it was awesome. We had an incredible time talking to them. This next week, we have Damian Williams and Danny Woodhead. So that's going to be so much fun. Looking forward to that. That's the home team watch party presented by Lowe's. That's next Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch. So we'll see you then. We also have hit a milestone. Frank, we have 5,000 followers. Where are your balloons?
Woo! No balloons. Sorry, bud.
Can we get an oh my goodness gracious?
Oh my goodness gracious!
5,000 followers. It's just incredible. All right, more questions here as they're coming in. BK Giant, RBJ, OBJ. Who's RBJ? OBJ or Robbie Anderson?
I will still go with Odell Beckham there. Don't love the matchup for Robbie Anderson this week against the Chargers.
Okay, this is from KG Makes You Quit. This is a PPR question, and it is in caps lock. So he means business here. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Deshaun Jackson, Alan Lazard, or Russell Gage?
I will go Russell Gage there. I think Russell Gage is a high-end wide receiver 3. He's seen a ton of volume the first 2 weeks. There's no Julio Jones in that game. Again, tougher matchup going up against Chicago, but I think he will see opportunities. I don't mind Deshaun Jackson either as like a sneaky low-end wide receiver 3, but I'll still take Russell Gage there.
No, it's interesting. I think Gage is the guy to go with Julio Jones out here, but MVS, Deshaun Jackson, Allen Lazard, they're all in similar situations. They all could have more targets this week, with other wide receivers on the team being out. For Jackson, it's Rager, not a huge deal. And for Lazard and MVS, it's obviously Adams, who we expect to miss. So, so is Deshaun Jackson your favorite of those three?
Yes, he is. He has 19% target share on the team this year for the Philadelphia Eagles. And you mentioned there's no Rager. Last week, Jackson actually had 9 targets. So I think he is sneaky here. Odell Beckham scored a touchdown in week 2 against the Cincinnati Bengals as well. It's a decent matchup for Deshaun Jackson. I think he's a low-end wide receiver 3, boomer bust.
Zach Morris is trash, asks us, also in all caps, Gurley or Josh Kelly?
That is Josh Kelly for me. I know he's the starter of the week for Jamie. I'm very excited about Josh Kelly. I have him ranked inside of my top 20 running backs this week. Fantastic matchup going up against the Carolina Panthers. He had 25 touches last week. Todd Gurley has not done much thus far. The yards per carry not looking great for him. He's not running efficiently. I will go with Josh Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I have something in my eye. Probably I got a haircut this morning, so
it looks good.
Thank you. My wife did the whole thing. She crushed it. It was great.
Oh.
I don't know that I'm ever going to go get a professional haircut again. We're getting close to perfecting the process. Like, we still have some work to do. This isn't perfect, but we're getting better and better. So I don't know. We'll see. It was a big special occasion. I probably will. I think I'm still going to go Gurley. I have one concern about Kelly, and that is like Austin Eckler is better and was so much better in week 2 than Kelly. So I'm just thinking like maybe the Chargers are like, all right, let's make sure Eckler gets more carries than Josh Kelly this week. I still like him, but Gurley is guaranteed, I think, to be the goal line guy. Maybe gets a little more involved in the passing game with Julio Jones out. It's a close one. I think it's the first time I've disagreed with Frank today. Frank, you sound like did you have like a late night last night?
Maybe.
I knew it.
I was watching the UFC fight. It was a big fight on, man.
Oh, okay. Okay, from Yucky Fidster, PPR flex, Mike Davis, Josh Kelly, or Cooper Kupp?
I will go Mike Davis there because of the PPR aspect. He had 7 targets in the fourth quarter last week. No Christian McCaffrey, obviously. I think we're looking at another at least 5 to 6 targets there, and you're 15 to 20 touches for Mike Davis, so I'll go with him.
Boogie 121, Corey Davis or Devin Singletary?
That's pretty close. I like Devin Singletary, though. Obviously, no Zach Moss in that game. You do have to worry about Josh Allen vulturing touchdowns away down near the goal line, but I'll go Devin Singletary there.
I'm so excited about Devin Singletary today. I have him, and Darrell Henderson too. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for Henderson. I'm taking some risks with Henderson, but Singletary, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Dallas Goedert or Hayden Hurst at tight end?
I will go Hayden Hurst now that Julio Jones is out.
G Barnes 1, DJ Moore or Julian Edelman PPR?
DJ Moore, must-start wide receiver. Some were worried about the matchup last week against Tampa Bay, and he came through with flying colors, so I think he's kind of matchup-proof.
From Julio, full PPR, Scotty Too Hottie or KJ Hamler? Scotty Miller or KJ Hamler in PPR?
Don't love either. I will go with KJ Hamler. Give me the opportunity there.
Yeah, he had 7 targets, I think, last week. And Godwin and Evans are both playing and both healthy. I think that makes sense. Evan Ingram, is he going to get garbage points from Paul Walker? I don't know if it'd be garbage points. I mean, the Giants could, in theory, win this game. They're facing the practice squad for the Niners. And Ingram actually had a decent game. What do you have, like 6 for 62 or something last week? I think he's a fine start, right?
Yeah, I think he's, a top 12 tight end. He is tied for the team lead in target share with 20%. He's running a lot of routes this year, a lot of slot routes as well. 6 for 65. You mentioned he led the team with 8 targets last week. I don't mind Evan Ingram.
Terry McLaurin or Will Fuller?
Oh, Terry McLaurin for sure.
Yeah. From JD86, standard scoring, start 2. Kareem Hunt, Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton, Allen Lazard, and Corey Davis. This is a really interesting group. Hunt, Galladay, Slayton, Lazard, Corey Davis. It's standard scoring. Where would you go here?
I would go with the top two names there. I would go with Kareem Hunt and Kenny Galladay. I know there's some concern over Galladay, his usage. What is it going to be like his first game back? But I have him as a low-end wide receiver 2 this week. I think you get him back in there. Kareem Hunt, obviously going to split work with Nick Chubb for the Cleveland Browns, but he's looked good through his first 2 games, so I don't see why you would go away from him. I'll go with Hunt and Galladay.
Russell Gage or CeeDee Lamb? This is from Max Miles. Russell Gage or CeeDee Lamb?
Oof, that is extremely close. I have CeeDee Lamb 1 spot higher. You mentioned huge point total in that game. I think we see a lot of back and forth between Lamb, between the Seahawks and the Cowboys. Lamb will be involved, obviously. I have him 1 spot higher. I will go CeeDee Lamb.
All right, think about it. I'm going to give you like a minute to think about it. I want a bold prediction here for week 3. I don't know if you have one. I have 2. And here's the thing about bold predictions. They're just for fun. They don't get mad at me if it doesn't happen. Don't make your starter sit decisions based on it. We're just having fun here. All right. It's Sunday. I'm in a good mood. My college football team crushed last night. I was up late, but not as late as Frank, apparently. So bold prediction time. Here are 2. Number 1, Chris Hogan has 80 yards today. Number 2, Michael Gallup scores 2 touchdowns today.
Oh, you stole one of my bold predictions.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, you can have it. You can have it back.
I was going to go with Michael Gallup is the highest scoring fantasy wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys in week 3. I think they try and get him involved in this game, and I think there's going to be a lot of points. I still have him ranked the lowest of the 3, but it's just a hunch. I think that the Cowboys try and get him involved.
I hope so. I really do. I think he's due and make a couple of big plays today. Also, I'm not sure that this is going to come up, but through the questions. But the Chargers put 2 starting defensive linemen on IR today, and one of them is Melvin Ingram, and one of them is a defensive tackle. So we obviously know how great Melvin Ingram is. I'm not saying you have to avoid their DST. That's still a really good matchup against Carolina. But, if you were deciding between the Colts and the Chargers, and the Colts are still available, I personally would go with the Colts. I might look stupid. Maybe the Chargers have a great game against the McCaffrey-less Panthers, but 2 defensive linemen on IR out for at least 3 weeks. The Colts are now 96% rostered. Okay, so never mind. Maybe it's a DFS thing. You might not want to pay up for the Chargers, but that's an injury note that I don't anticipate coming up in the chat today. All right, back to the questions from CJ1223. Josh Kelly, Devin Singletary, or Mark Ingram in PPR. Ooh, this is all right. Let's see how much he likes Josh Kelly. Kelly, Singletary, or Ingram PPR?
Yeah, I'm still going to go with Josh Kelly there. I don't know that he's going to see a ton of targets. He did have 2 receptions last week. Again, 25 touches. It probably takes a little bit of a step back there, but I think with Justin Herbert starting, they want to lean on the running backs here. We see a lot of Josh Kelly, a lot of Austin Eckler. Love Austin Eckler this week as well. Don't mind Devin Singletary as a low-end RB2, high-end flex option, but I will still go Josh Kelly ahead of him.
All right. I think your Josh Kelly is my Devin Singletary in terms of excitement this week. This is from Speedy Claxton, 8765. Dalton Schultz, Antonio Gibson, or Jerry Jeudy for flex?
Let's go with Antonio Gibson. He saw a huge spike in snaps last week, played like 65% of the snaps for Washington. I expect him to be involved once again. Don't really love the matchup, again, for Dalton Schultz. I think he's a lower-end streamer this week, so I will go with Antonio Gibson.
From RWC650 Sergio, and for everyone out there, you should not count on Devontae Adams playing tonight. It really does not sound good. I hope he doesn't play because I don't want to have to make the decision about starting him. Let's say I have Adams and MVS and Lazard. I can't imagine I'm going to sit Devontae Adams, but I'd be really nervous to start him anyway. So I hope he just sits out this week. So no, play Tyler. In your case, Sergio, play Tyler Boyd over him. And just plan on not having Devontae Adams. Neil says, Frank, good to see you. You helped me so much with baseball this year.
Yeah, I'm happy. Happy somebody won their leagues. Can't really say that for myself, but as long as you guys win, that's all that matters.
You crushed it in our podcast leagues, but then you just lost in the playoffs, huh?
Yeah,
it happens. Right?
It does.
It happens. It's funny that like fantasy baseball leagues are ending today. I mean, today's a huge day, unless we have this doubleheader. Are we going to have like a Cardinals doubleheader tomorrow or something?
Yeah, if it's needed for the standings, that's something they're talking about happening. The Cardinals and the Tigers would play a doubleheader on Monday. But yeah, you're right. It's crazy. And I said this a ton recently, but because it's only a 2-month season, there's going to be so many standings that are fluctuating in roto leagues today, which we're not used to seeing this late in the season because normally it's like 6 months worth of stats.
Right.
Only 2 months. So you're going to see a lot of wild finishes here in roto leagues.
Yeah, I'm currently in third in my one true roto league, and I think I'll probably end up third, maybe fourth, maybe fifth, maybe sixth, but hopefully third. Probably not seventh or eighth, but definitely hopefully third. From B Flock, Chris Carson, Devin Singletary, CD Lamb. Sit one of them. Carson, Singletary, Lamb. It's PR.
Definitely going to start Carson. Comes down to Singletary and CD Lamb. You know I love CD Lamb, but I'm probably going to bench him there.
From BNT 0923, Kenny Golladay or Hollywood Brown, PPR.
Also close. I will go with Kenny Golladay.
From Had to Create an Account. That's a clever name. Washington DST against Cleveland. Tampa DST at Denver. Who do you like, Washington or Cleveland?
No, it's Washington. You said Washington or Tampa, right?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I like Tampa Bay here, going up against Jeff Driscoll.
From Bing Ball Me, Cooper Kupp or Corey Davis?
Cooper Kupp.
JFB 85. I need 2 out of 3 in PPR. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Kenyon Drake, Darrell Henderson. Start with that. Edwards-Helaire, Drake, Henderson. Who you sitting?
Yeah, I think you have to sit Darrell Henderson there. It's a tough matchup for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I mean, he can easily score a touchdown or 2 anytime with the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think you have to start him. And
Tom Brady or Joe Burrow this week?
I am gonna go with Brady. I know he's been disappointing thus far, but finally has both of the wide receivers back healthy. Godwin and Mike Evans. They dropped a ton of passes for him last week. This is one where I think the Tampa Bay Bucks try and get a good game out of Brady, try and get him going here as well. So I'll go with him.
From Twitch Tomster, and I thought your Twitch name was Twitch Monster. You might want to change it. But Twitch Tomster says, which running back? I can only have 3. It's half PPR. Montgomery, Mixon, Drake, Josh Kelly. Who are you sitting?
Say them again.
David Montgomery, Joe Mixon, Kenyon Drake, Josh Kelly. Sit 1. You're going to sit Montgomery.
Yes, I am. I have Josh Kelly 2 spots higher than David Montgomery, but it is close. I liked what I've seen from Montgomery thus far, but I think that we will get more volume out of Kelly, and it's a fantastic matchup. So very close, but I'll bench David Montgomery.
From Pyrex 34, should I trade Leonard Fournette for Cam Newton? I have Miles Sanders, Jonathan Taylor, and Raheem Mostert, and Tom Brady is my quarterback. So give up Fournette, get Cam.
Normally, I would not want to give up a position player of his caliber and potential upside, but I think Cam Newton's like a potential top 5 quarterback as well. So I think that is an okay deal. I'll do it. I'll get Cam Newton there.
From B-Dubs, Gardner Minshew, Wentz, Stafford, and Goff. Minshew, Wentz, Stafford, Goff. Pick one rest of season.
I will go with... Now that Kenny Golladay is healthy, I will go with Stafford.
Yeah. It's either him or Goff for me. Like, Wentz is last. It's crazy. But he's last.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, I think they have Baltimore and Pittsburgh coming up in a couple of weeks. So that's no good. Alan Lazard, Antonio Gibson, or N'Keal Harry? Pick 2, sit 1. Who are you sitting? Gibson, Lazard, or Harry? PPR.
I will sit Alan Lazard. They move the Packers wide receivers around, but there is a chance that he'll see some Marshawn Lattimore in that game. And N'Keal Harry just saw a ton of targets in week 2, so Gibson, not a great matchup, but starting to take over as their running back there. I will sit Alan Lazard.
Yeah, Patriots game is interesting too. 6.5-point favorites. I really like the Raiders. I think they're going to cover. I think there's an outside chance they win that game. They're going to have to run the ball though, for sure. By the way, one player that you might want to pick up, if you have like a dead roster spot, sometimes you try to drop a player and your waiver claims don't go through and you sit there on Sunday and you have a guy that you just don't need. Like last week I had Corey Clement because I've been trying to drop him, could never get the fab bid in. If you just have like a dead roster spot, there are plenty of players that you could go pick up, like if Alexander Madison or Chase Edmonds or Boston Scott or Tony Pollard is out there, just put him on your bench. You never know what's going to happen. But another guy to look at is Devontae Booker, because even though he would split with Jalen Richard, Josh Jacobs is getting like 25 carries each game so far. He was hurt in week 2, and he has no history of being able to make it through a heavy workload. He didn't do it in college. He got hurt last year and missed 3 games. So, gosh, I really hope Josh Jacobs doesn't get hurt. But if you have an empty roster spot, take a look at Devontae Booker. He'd be kind of lower on that list, but he's barely rostered. So just food for thought. From Seabrock, Josh Kelly or Joe Mixon, half PPR?
I'll still go with Joe Mixon.
Here are some questions from YouTube. Home Hack asks, standard scoring, play 1. Russell Gage, Michael Gallup, Corey Davis.
I will go with Russell Gage.
Dave Ellis asked, Kareem Hunt or David Montgomery, standard scoring?
David Montgomery.
Ernesto Ampudia asked, Jeff Wilson or Tariq Cohen in PPR?
I don't mind. I'll go with Cohen. I know that you have that stat about like whenever the Chicago Bears are trailing or if they're underdogs in a game, we get more Tariq Cohen. I think that there's a chance that can happen today. We could see more points in that game. It's close, but I'll go with Cohen because of PPR.
You did a decent job recalling the statistic. 2 stats. Cohen just gets more catches, more yards when they lose in losses compared to wins. I don't know that they're going to lose. But the one I gave on the show this week, I just picked 24 points as kind of an arbitrary total. But the Bears gave up 24 or more points 4 times last year. And Tariq Cohen had 6 or more catches in 3 of those 4 games. He only had more than 25 yards once, but still 6 or more catches in 3 of those 4 games. If he doesn't, put it this way, if David Montgomery is a 2 to 3 catch per week guy, and that's bad, but we don't know that yet. So I still think there's a role in the passing game for Cohen this week. But yeah, you're going to need the Falcons to score some points for sure. Roethlisberger or Rodgers?
I will go with Roethlisberger.
Hollywood Brown or Kenny Golladay?
I think I answered this one already, and I think I said Golladay. So I'll stay with Golladay.
From Armies 22, is anyone starting Justin Jefferson, Jerry Jeudy, or Robbie Anderson over Terry McLaurin or Tyler Lockett?
No.
No, like McLaurin, both those guys could be just terrific. So, Jacobs or Miles Sanders rest of season from LSU Tiger?
That's a really, really good question.
Yeah, they're really close going into the year.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs is banged up a little bit. They're very similar players. I will go with Miles Sanders, I think, because of his target volume. He has a little bit more upside, but it is very close, and I think both guys are top 10.
From the Mike G, Jerick McKinnon or Tyler Boyd, PPR?
Tyler Boyd.
So let's talk about the 49ers running backs. I think it's pretty easy with all 3 Giants running backs active today, Lewis, Freeman, Gallman. I think it's pretty easy to get away from them. Sure, one of them might have a good game. One of them might score, but it's hard to predict. I think Deion Lewis is probably our favorite this week. Is that right? Fair?
Yeah, but a low-end flex,
right.
A desperation flex.
The Niners are a little bit more interesting because there are only 2 of them. And we've seen Wilson, in 2 games that he played without Tevin Coleman. I'm pretty sure he scored in both games. McKinnon hasn't gotten a lot of work yet, but you figure he'd be the passing downs guy. So, what do you think about those 49ers running backs? Do you like them? Do you like one of them?
I think that they are both in the flex conversation. I think you like McKinnon more in PPR. I think we're probably looking at like 10 to 12 touches for Jeff Wilson, and probably like 8 to 10 for Jerick McKinnon, with like 3 of those being receptions. So I think that they're going to cannibalize each other a little bit more. I think that Wilson has higher touchdown upside, more of a chance to score a touchdown, but I do like Jerick McKinnon a little bit more in PPR. So I think that they're both in that flex discussion, but don't have like great upside.
This is from Velvet McJones. Half PPR. If you don't trust Kenny Golladay, would you start Andy Isabella or KJ Hamler?
Well, you have to start Golladay, but if you
Yeah,
want to start, if you want to start one of those names, I would lean Hamler.
Yeah, but it's definitely Golladay there.
Yes.
Goldstone. 2 in PPR. Carson, Singletary, or Lamb. I think we may have answered this. Carson, Singletary, Lamb. Pick 2. PPR.
Yes. Bench CD Lamb.
All right. Riddiger 15. I need to start 3 of these. And I lost it. Sorry, Riddiger. Wait, I can find it. I'm convinced. Send it back in. Sorry about that. Lost it. Chad updated. My bad. All right. How about Cobra Kai? Adam Humphries or Anthony Miller? It's a good one.
Let's go with Adam Humphries.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's had about 7 targets each of the last 2 games. No, that can't be right. But he's been involved.
Good matchup against the Vikings, too.
Yeah. From Luke, MVS, Jerry Jeudy, or Nyheim Hines?
Let's go with... Man, it's like you don't know what to expect out of Nyheim Hines because he was fantastic in week 1 and then did absolutely nothing in week 2. So he's really such a wild card. His matchup against the New York Jets. I'll go with Hines. I'll roll the dice there.
I think Nyheim Hines went from having 2 touchdowns in week 1 to 4 touches in week 2. Something like that.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
I get it. It's tough, but great matchup on paper.
Goldstone says, Jamie, can you please predict my underdog fantasy team wins by 17 points? Okay, couple things here. Jamie's not here. Jamie's on HQ right now. You want to go see Jamie? Go turn on HQ. It's fine. You can leave us for HQ. I can accept it. I predicted the Dolphins would win by 17 or more. That was me, Goldstone. I'm not going to take credit for Jamie's great calls. So don't give him credit for mine. Sorry. I made one good bold prediction, Frank, and now I'm just like making a ton of them.
All right.
Stealing some of yours.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that was a great call with the Dolphins. I'll give you another one, too. I had a little time to think
all right.
about it.
All right.
If you can, I know it's like 30 minutes until kickoff, but try and trade for DeAndre Swift. I think that this could potentially be the DeAndre Swift breakout game.
Wow. All right.
The snaps have been up. The targets are there for him. He has at least 5 targets in both games. Solid matchup against the Cardinals as well. I think that this could be the breakout game for DeAndre Swift. Go out and buy low right now.
I'm looking at my email right now, and Davin asked me I had to sit one. Juju, Fournette, DJ Moore, and Devin Singletary. So if you had to sit one, Juju, Fournette, Moore, and Singletary, who would it be?
Fournette.
That's what I said. I said, I'd sit Fournette. And he wrote back, you sissy, I'm sitting DJ Moore.
Hey, we talked about DJ Moore already. I think he's a must-start wide receiver regardless of matchup. Had a tough matchup last week against Tampa Bay. Went out there and just did what DJ Moore always does. So
yeah, you missed what I said on the show on the podcast. Bruce Arians said that Ronald Jones isn't going away. He still likes him early in the game, and he wants to use Leonard Fournette in the 4th quarter. I don't really know how to interpret that. I'm done trying to, read between the lines with Bruce Arians. But Ronald Jones, I don't think is completely going away. I'd still like to see one more week before I call Fournette a must start. Obviously, he's better than Ronald Jones, but those other options were really good. All right. From It Should Cost. PPR, Kenny Golladay, Devin Singletary, or Michael Gallup?
Devin Singletary.
J Rose 2007. Superflex League. Do you bench Patrick Mahomes for both Cam Newton and Kyler Murray?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Who do you like on Monday night?
I like the Baltimore Ravens. I think the defense has shown out much better than the Kansas City Chiefs thus far. And I think that there's more motivation for the Baltimore Ravens in this game.
Yeah.
So I will take Baltimore. I think they cover as well.
3.5?
Yeah.
Okay. I like the Chiefs to cover. I think the Ravens win by like 1. Maybe 3. Not 3.5. Patrick Martin TV. Are we selling high on James Robinson?
Well, the only way I'm doing it is if you get one of those legitimate top 12 running backs, and I don't really see anyone giving up like a Miles Sanders or a Josh Jacobs or a Kenyon Drake, because I think James Robinson is right behind that group. I think he is a legit top 15 high-end RB2 who's starting to be used more in the pass game as well. If you can get a top 12 wide receiver as well, you could look at it. But I think unless you're getting fair value for him in return, you should probably just hold on to James Robinson.
All right, Frank, here's the deal. Chris Towers is going to come on like any second now. And I want to just pretend that we're having a conversation that's going to fire him up. So I think we should talk about how great Trevor Bauer is and how he's our favorite player. Because Chris kind of hates Trevor Bauer. So what Jamie Mazauskas is our producer. Jamie, when Chris can hear us, maybe send me an IM or something like that. And or let me know, and then we'll get into it, and we'll just piss Chris off right out of the gate. It's going to be incredible. I hope he's not watching the Twitch stream right now, because that would be really awkward and would totally foil our plans. Tom Brady or Joe Burrow this week from Matt Garcia?
Tom Brady.
Yeah, big day for Tom Brady. I don't know about big, like not huge day. 24 fantasy points. Going to be a good low end starter.
I think like 275 and 2.
Exactly. Is that 24? That's 23. Plus 15 rushing yards, 24. No turnovers. Good job, Frank. Ekenlam. Pick one. One wide receiver and one flex. John Brown, Corey Davis, CeeDee Lamb. So pick two of those three.
I will bench John Brown. Tougher matchup here against the Rams.
Yo, can we do... people on Twitch, help me out here. I want to bench John Brown for Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
No.
I share this team with Heath, and Heath put John Brown back in the lineup. Do I have any support from you all? Let me know. I don't have support from Frank on this. So
I know Heath loves John Brown.
Iron Mike said no.
I can't go that far.
Okay. Alan Lazard or David Montgomery from B1653. It's PPR, Lazard or Montgomery.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with David Montgomery. He's looked really good thus far.
Hunt or Josh Kelly?
Josh Kelly.
Juju, Kelly, or David Montgomery, PPR? Juju.
Yeah, Juju and PPR.
Darius Slayton or AJ Green?
Ooh, I have them very close in the rankings. I will go with AJ Green. Hesitantly.
Yeah, I don't blame you. CeeDee Lamb or Jerick McKinnon in PPR?
CeeDee Lamb.
And do you think Kenny Golladay is fully back? No, I'm not approaching it as if he is. I'm approaching it as like a top 24 guy instead of like might be a top 5 guy today if I thought he was fully back. Maybe I'm a little too hard.
I think that's a good call. I think he's a low-end wide receiver too, just inside the top 24, whereas normally I think he would be a top 12 wide receiver.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. Like, Bauer has been just so good this year, and I think he should win the Cy Young,
Yeah, I don't see how it could be anybody else.
No,
Jacob Brown's
he's
having
one of the best, most honest, most decent players in baseball. So, hey, what's up, Chris?
Nobody watching this stream knows what you guys are talking about or cares. I should turn on my microphone.
You should turn on
I should turn on my microphone.
We just want to troll you.
On this stream knows or cares what you guys are talking about. We're here for football.
Okay.
Not to talk about Trevor Bauer's glaring hypocrisy and the unwillingness of baseball media to call him out for it.
That's why you're here.
Something themselves in him. All right.
Good afternoon, Chris. How are you, sir?
It is technically afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm ready to answer some questions. I've been on Twitter answering questions. I always feel good when I do it on Twitter because that way there's a written record of all the times that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. What are your my toughest lineup decision I think right now is Malcolm Brown.
For me it's Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, no, that whole situation, like I could see Malcolm Brown just being like an emergency back. I could see him just being the true backup with that pinky injury. Or if he's healthy enough to play and they trust him, like he's been playing by far the most valuable role in that offense. He's third on the team in routes run. He was getting the goal line carries. So that could make or break my week, honestly, in a couple of different leagues.
Well, let me frame it like this. I don't have these numbers exact, but I'll ballpark it. Rams running backs in week one had like 35 carries or something like that. Rams running backs in week 2 had something like 27 carries. And then you had like 5 more carries from wide receivers.
Yeah.
This is the second most run heavy team in the NFL through 2 games behind the Chargers. So So that makes me feel good about Darrell Henderson. Like if Malcolm Brown is healthy, I still think Darrell Henderson gets like at least 13 to 15 touches.
Yeah.
Now, Malcolm Brown, on the other hand, I do see a scenario where he could have 5 touches. So I am completely.
I could see a scenario where I could see a scenario where he doesn't really see the field.
Yeah.
And they just like he's
avoiding.
just the problem is I have him in one league where I have Julio Jones. I have him in one league where I think one of my other I can't remember. It's Scott Fishbowl, but it's some really like not ideal situations that I'm dealing with.
Let's say a Giants running back or a Niners running back or Malcolm Brown.
McKinnon over Brown. I don't think I'm touching the Giants at all. It's a bad offense. We have no idea what the roles are going to be. Devontae Freeman is active, which I was hoping he wouldn't be, frankly, because it makes it like Devontae Freeman could play 25 or 30 snaps today. He could play 10. And we don't even know if Dion Lewis or Wayne Gallman is the actual backup here.
Yeah.
Backup to Chris or Saquon Barkley.
Right. No, I agree. McKinnon, I think, but what about Jeff Wilson? Frank, would you start Jeff Wilson over Malcolm Brown?
Yeah, I think I would start both 49ers running backs over Malcolm Brown. I think there's a lot of volatility in the projection for Brown today. You guys talked about it, but it could literally be 5 touches. It could be 15 touches, and we just don't know. I feel better about McKinnon or Jeff Wilson seeing like 10 to 12 touches each in this game. So yes. I'll start both over Brown.
Yeah, I think McKinnon, it might be just like 10 to 12 touches though. Like that, I could see that being the ceiling. He's had like a couple of good plays so far, but for the most part, like he's played 34 snaps, I think, between 2 games, and he's played. It's only like 9 touches, I think, so far, including no targets last week. So I could see, him being a pretty big disappointment with people ranking him as like a number 2 running back. And yeah, the Malcolm Brown decision is Malcolm Brown, Ronald Jones, or Dion Lewis. And so it's kind of no good options there. I'm not really considering Lewis. It's down to Jones or Brown.
I actually would go Lewis. I think I'd go Lewis.
I'd go Brown there. And I don't even like him that much.
You know what? That is
okay, but
not on people's mind. No. Let's answer questions. Okay. Let's answer questions. Let's see what there are much more fantasy relevant players to talk about than those crap running backs. So,
I think Ronald Jones is an interesting one.
Oh, you can't trust him.
Right. But like the switch that the Buccaneers made was not nearly as obvious as 1, the box score makes it look like, and 2, what the consensus is right now. Leonard Fournette really wasn't part of the offense until the last 2 drives. Like I think between the fumble and the last 2 drives, there was one drive where he had 5 carries. I think the next one he had the touchdown. I think it was like 5 touches for Fournette, 4 for Jones, and they split snaps pretty evenly. And Bruce Arians talked about how he wants to save Fournette for the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
So it's more for me that I think people are probably there was too much certainty about Ronald Jones being the number 1 back there after week 1. I think there's too much certainty about Leonard Fournette in week 2.
Okay.
After week 2.
All right. That's a good point. All right. Desperate for help.
Thank
half
you.
PPR. David Johnson or Russell Gage, 2nd flex spot.
David Johnson.
Yeah, David Johnson.
Corey Davis or O'Neal Harry? Just reading what I'm seeing here. O'Neal Harry or Corey Davis?
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis.
I like the target share for Harry, but he has not actually looked good yet.
Nikhil Harry. We could team name Tuesday that. From Suit Daddy, Cooper Kupp or Beckham, PPR?
I like Kupp.
Yeah, probably.
From G Gozak, Malcolm Brown, Darrell Henderson, Traquan Smith, Jarvis Landry. Full PPR. Brown, Henderson, Traquan, Landry.
I think it's probably Henderson.
From Matt Garcia, CeeDee Lamb, T.Y. Hilton, John Brown. Sit one of them. Who are you sitting? Lamb, Hilton, Brown.
John Brown.
Yep.
Gossamer 9799. Half PPR, start 2. One of them has to be a wide receiver. Larry Fitzgerald, Alan Lazard, Jarvis Landry, Mike Williams. Pick one of them. Lazard, Landry, Williams. Not even considering Fitzgerald here.
Probably Landry. I'm really interested to see what happens with the Packers. Lazard plays more in the slot, so you would hope that he avoids Marshawn Lattimore tonight. But I don't know which one is more Devontae Adams-esque. They're both gigantic.
Yeah, I don't love Landry, but I lean there.
Okay. So then now we need a flex: Lazard, Mike Williams, Darrell Henderson, Logan Thomas.
I love the matchup for Logan Thomas. The targets have been there. He's being used in the red zone. He was a disappointment in week 2, but I'll go back to the well.
Over Henderson?
Yeah, I think I would go Henderson. But I do agree with Frank that I really think there's a chance for Logan Thomas to break out.
United State of Base: David Johnson or Devin Singletary?
Singletary.
Yeah, I guess Singletary.
Popeye 1092, standard scoring. I need 3. Galladay, Evans, Gibson, Judy, Claypool. I'll read them again. Pick 3. Galladay, Evans, Gibson, Judy, Claypool.
I think it's the top 3.
Yeah, Galladay, Evans, Gibson.
All right. Harkness Monster: David Montgomery or Robert Woods, half PPR?
Woods.
I will go David Montgomery.
All right. From X29, Galladay or Gage?
I'm getting a lot of questions on Twitter about Galladay too. You were drafting him as like a top 12 wide receiver.
Sorry, yeah, you're all system, because Frank and I were talking about, we kind of feel like he's more low end number 2. I just didn't love the quotes this week. I didn't love the wishy-washiness, the I'm going to give it a shot. So I don't think he's fully healthy.
It was announced on Monday basically that he was coming back.
It was, but then he was non-committal on it. All right, if you're just, where would you rank him? Would you rank him as a top 15 guy?
I wouldn't rank him. I probably more like a low end number 2, but I think he was a guy we were drafting as a number 1 wide receiver, and it seemed like he was limited in practice last week. It seemed like they gave him, the extra week.
So you'd go with him over Gage? I think it's a good question.
I think
I would. I like Gage, but I think he's more a wide receiver 3.
All right, N. Rodriguez, Gallup or Beckham?
Beckham.
Chris, I know you must have some bold predictions. Frank and I both predicted big days for Michael Gallup, but as a gut feeling bold prediction, don't hold us to it kind of thing, which is always the least liability.
Yeah, I like to answer every question with as much cloudiness as possible.
Yeah.
I like both sides of every single 2-player equation. Bold prediction.
Yeah.
Mike Davis is a top 5 fantasy running back.
All right, I like it. Are you going to set up the FanDuel contest this week?
Why do I have to?
I don't.
Yeah, I can do that.
Feels like something you're better at than I am. It just feels like something you're good at.
Yeah, I'll do it while we're doing this now. Thanks.
Okay, you do it. Frank and I will answer. We'll give you some time. Okay, from Action, half PPR, need 2. Mike Williams, Adam Humphries, Rex Burkhead, Devontae Freeman.
Let's go Mike Williams and Humphries. Was that one of the options?
Humphries, Burkhead, Freeman.
Yes, Humphries and Mike Williams.
Dalton Schultz or Jordan Reed, half PPR.
Jordan Reed.
Dak Prescott or Aaron Rodgers? Really? Dak. Full PPR, Antonio Gibson or Kenny Galladay?
Kenny Galladay.
It's about Antonio Gibson this week, by the way. I think Browns might have a pretty good run defense, so
I don't understand why they just have not used him as a receiver.
Yeah,
at all.
That's the other thing.
He barely ran any. He barely ran any routes last week. I think it was low double digits, if that. It might have been only 8 or 9.
Right. So that's why you ask me PPR questions. The guy's got 3 catches in 2 games. I'm a little nervous about him. All right. How about, should I trust Galladay or play Will Fuller or N'Keal Harry?
Oh, Galladay for sure.
Okay. Let's see. Benny Ho, pick 2 PPR. Evan Ingram, Corey Davis, Jerick McKinnon, pick 2.
I will bench McKinnon.
Okay. Yucky Finster, should I drop Kelly, Moss, or Gibson for Matthew Stafford and then try to trade Josh Allen for an upgraded running back, tight end, or wide receiver? Drop Kelly, Moss, or Gibson for Stafford and keep him and trade Josh Allen.
No, I wouldn't want to drop any of those running backs.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I wouldn't want to trade Josh Allen. From Petri Dish, I need an RB2 in a 12-team PPR league. Malcolm Brown, Tariq Cohen, Burkhead, or Devontae Freeman. So Malcolm, it's probably Brown or Cohen in PPR.
Don't love it, but Malcolm Brown.
Burkhead was part of that, right?
Yeah.
He's being overlooked this week. He played like 74% of the snaps last week. I know he didn't really do anything with it, but I don't know. I could see Burkhead being a viable fantasy option this week.
Dude, you sent this to my text message?
You just click it and it opens the app.
Email me. It's so much easier on a computer. All right, next week I'm setting this up. Really disappointing.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, this guy.
Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady?
You're the only person who complains about getting a text message over an email.
Well, I don't. I have the app, but like
next, I'll put a letter in the mailbox on Tuesday for you.
It's not working, Chris.
I will go Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady.
Can we get IT to help out, Adam, please?
I think Chris sent me the wrong link.
I definitely didn't send you the wrong link.
Jared Cook or Hayden Hurst with Julio Jones out?
I will go with Hayden Hurst.
Jared Cook or Hayden Hurst? I'm going Cook. I'm just very confident in him, but I get it. Break the tie, Chris. Cook or Hurst?
I don't feel great about either. I would go Hurst.
All right, pick a flex, half PPR from Duja420. Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon, or DJ Moore? Half PPR. Hunt, Gordon, DJ Moore.
DJ Moore for me.
Yes, I am not. I'm not sitting DJ Moore.
From Iron Mike, Waller or Goddard, PPR?
Waller.
The
guy's got like a 36% target share. I'm not sitting him because he's going against the Patriots.
From Chase, 12-team PPR, T.Y. Hilton, Tyler Boyd, or Mike Davis?
Davis.
Popeye says standard scoring, pick 3, Galladay, Evans. Oh, we did this one. Galladay, Evans, and Gibson.
Yep.
All right, let's get some new ones here. From Walter, Galladay or N'Keal Harry? PPR.
Galladay.
Cartoons, tight end and a flex. Higbee and Hurst. Pick one.
Higbee.
Even with those Bills linebackers playing? They are fully healthy on defense.
I'm more confident in his role in that offense than I am Hurst's.
Okay. And a flex would be the other tight end or Traquan Smith or Jeff Wilson, PPR.
I might go with both tight ends.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Traquan Smith played the closest thing to the Michael Thomas role last week. Like he was all over the field. I think was first on the team in routes run. So it's possible he has a really good game. And that Packers defense might be pretty bad. I don't know. I want to see one more week of it, and then he might not be fantasy relevant the following week anyway, if Michael Thomas comes back.
Okay, how about N'Keal Harry, MVS, or Russell Gage in PPR?
Russell Gage.
Chris, do you support my decision to start MVS over John Brown?
Man. MVS could have a big game. It's entirely possible, but he plays outside more, so he might see more Marshawn Lattimore than Allen Lazard does. And catching the ball is pretty important at wide receiver. And he's bad at that. And so it's actually I don't really care about drops. I don't think they're indicative of you can overcome. Terrell Owens dropped a bunch of passes. You can overcome drops. My concern is that Aaron Rodgers is sort of temperamental.
What's it going to be?
I think I would go Brown, actually.
Oh, fine. Okay, fine.
I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, me either. That's the team I share with Heath. So I was only going to do it if you told me to, so I could blame you.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, Montgomery or Woods in flex half PPR. We did that one.
Oh, no. Frank said Montgomery.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Half PPR from Ace Luffy. Sit 1. Robbie Anderson, Cooper Kupp, Michael Gallup, or Hollywood Brown? Who are you sitting? Anderson, Kupp, Gallup, Brown.
Don't love the matchup as much for Robbie Anderson. I know the targets have been up this season, but I will sit him in that scenario.
Probably. It's either him or Brown, I think.
Roethlisberger or Breeze?
Roethlisberger.
Matt Ryan or Stafford?
Matt Ryan.
Ryan.
Pick 2 wide receivers in a flex. Edelman, Galladay, Gallup, Fournette, Mike Davis. 2 wide receivers, Edelman, Galladay, Gallup.
Edelman and Galladay.
Yeah.
And then
Davis.
Gallup, Fournette, Mike Davis.
Davis.
Spectru, or no, Spectrec W. Yeah, strange name there. PPR, Superflex, 4 points, and normal scoring, 4 point per passing touchdown. Dwayne Haskins or David Johnson? It's my favorite one yet.
I think you always have to go with the quarterback.
Yeah, I think I go with Haskins.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. We got about 10 minutes left, people. Josh Kelly or Joe Mixon, PPR.
Mixon.
Help, PPR. I need 2. Darrell Henderson, Cole Beasley, Jordan Reed, Adam Humphries.
Henderson was the first one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Henderson, and I might go Reed.
Yes, that's where I was leaning.
He played a bigger role than I expected last week.
Adam Humphries did have 7 and 6 targets in 2 games, but didn't do that. I mean, he's caught a touchdown, but 5 catches, 6 catches, 48 yards. I would do the same. Actually kind of excited to start Jordan Reed today. I feel like he's going to be the best 49er. In PPR, he might score more fantasy points than every other 49er, including Mullins.
Combined?
I hope not. All right, from Dirty Old Grandpa.
Okay.
Should I trade James Robinson for Christian McCaffrey?
I think this is context.
Yes.
I think
you
I
should.
I think if James Robinson is your RB3 and you have 2 other running backs that you can start while McCaffrey is out, I would do it.
Yeah.
MJ Naj, 2 wide receivers and a repeat. I like those.
They just want to make sure you get them in, Adam.
I know,
so they have to send them like 10 times.
I get it, but I miss them a lot, so I get it. But don't send them like every 30 seconds. Some people do that and makes you want to, bash my head with the computer. Can you rank these 3? 4 actually. Deontay Johnson, Cooper Kupp. Oh no, 3. And DJ Moore. Deontay Johnson, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore. PPR.
Moore, Kupp, Johnson.
I will go Moore, Johnson, Kupp.
Sounds like a dirty team name, if I may say so.
I'm a little like Johnson's been used so weirdly. He basically has had like 4 drives where like 75% of his targets have come from. It's like Roethlisberger gets laser focused on him for like 1 drive at a time, and it's never like in a row. Like in week 2, it was like 3 separate drives where I think he had 10 targets between them, and no, it was like 11 or 12 targets between them, and it was like a minute and a half, he got 4 targets. Then 15 minutes later, he got 4 targets in a minute and a half. And then 12 minutes later, he got like 5 targets in like 2.5. It's been really weird. Like, it's just like Johnson, and then nothing. It's strange.
That is interesting.
I don't know what it means.
After 2 games, I haven't really put much into it, but it's something to watch. Logan Thomas or Hunter Henry, PPR?
Henry.
Mm-hmm. Raging Pyro. Oh, Jonnu Smith or Evan Ingram, half PPR.
Evan Ingram.
See, like the guy who ranked Deontay Johnson, Kupp more, you sent it like 4 times in a row. Like it's just bad etiquette. It's just bad. From Dylan, sit 1, Goddard, Gage, or Hurst.
I will sit
Hurst.
Goddard.
It was between those 2.
Okay, from Boogie. Josh Kelly or Melvin Gordon, PPR?
Kelly for me.
I think I am starting Gordon over Kelly in 1 league.
Ryan Kelleher. Adam, help! Gage or Gibson?
Gage.
Since you said Adam, Gage. Slayton or Landry from Chimera?
I like Slayton there.
Non-PPR too, so that helps.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Slayton.
From 400, would you bench a banged-up Josh Jacobs for David Montgomery?
No, he
Any-
hurt that hip on Monday night, and was carrying them down the stretch.
Indy 3000. Not really. Indy 30,015. 30015. KJ Hamler or Jordan Reed, PPR?
Reed.
Jordan Reed, but I think Hamler's.
And also from Indy, Watson or Big Ben?
I'm still going Watson.
I will go Ben Roethlisberger.
From Lazy Boy, Matt Ryan or Aaron Rodgers?
Ryan
Rodgers.
Oh. You're going, well, they both without their leading receiver, so not an easy call. From R. Kim, are you worried about Clyde Edwards-Helaire this week?
Enough to rank him outside my top 12, but he's still a high-end RB2 for me.
Yeah, I don't know what worry. Like I'm not. Like I would be surprised if he was a top 5 back, but no,
Right.
I'm not. I'm not worried. I loved that he got a downfield target last week. That was a really good sign. I think it was actually called back on a penalty, but like that's the kind of thing you want to see from him in this offense.
And he had 6 catches on top of it. Cam Newton or Kyler Murray?
Kyler.
AJ Green or Jerick McKinnon?
I gotta go Green.
Yeah.
It's been really rough though.
From Jonesboro, Unit 406, Deion Lewis, Frank Gore, or Malcolm Brown? Ooh. Deion Lewis, Frank Gore, or Malcolm Brown?
Ugh.
Brown. Hesitantly.
Yeah, I'd say so. Let's see. Jared Cook, Jordan Reed, or Logan Thomas?
Jordan Reed.
Jared Cook.
This is from Sags. Russell Gage or Todd Gurley in PPR?
I would still go Gurley.
I will go Gage in PPR.
From Waltzing, pick 2, half PPR. Anthony Miller. I might have done this one. Anthony Miller, Rex Burkhead, Malcolm Brown, Ronald Jones.
Probably Brown and Jones, but maybe Burkhead.
Brown and Jones.
Okay. CeeDee Lamb or Josh Kelly?
Kelly.
King Kong, John. Would really appreciate it if you answer this. PPR. I need one. Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon, or Marquise Brown?
Gordon.
I like Hunt.
Nobody calls him Marquise Brown. They actually wrote Hollywood Brown. Everybody calls him Hollywood Brown. It's very strange. It's like 90% of the time.
I get when people just call him Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like in a tweet or a Twitch.
Right. This is a good character saver. Jonnu Smith or Hayden Hurst? Rest of season.
I will go John New.
I think so.
It's close, though.
From Timesh, Hollywood or Gage, PPR?
Brown, I think.
Yeah, Brown.
From VO 1018 or VO 1015. First Twitch ever. Hey,
welcome.
Yeah. Russell Gage or it just says Brown at Flex. Is that the same exact question that we just got? Is that Hollywood Brown?
If it's Hollywood Brown, Hollywood Brown. If it's Malcolm Brown, Russell Gage.
What if it's John Brown?
No, it could be John Brown. Brown. We already answered the John Brown Gage question, right?
I don't know. Dude, we asked like 100 questions. I can't remember.
Well, you asked me, right? What was your question?
Oh, no, I asked you MVS or John Brown. All I know is you sent me the wrong link and we don't have a FanDuel account.
I did not send you the wrong link.
You're trying to get me to open the Sportsbook app instead of the regular FanDuel app.
I don't know what to tell you, but that is the link that I get from the contest.
Chris?
So I guess I won.
I have 3 lineups and I didn't know which one to choose anyway. All right, we're done. It's game time, everybody. Good stuff. Let's rock and roll. Tonight, we're going to record after the games. We'll have that out for you about 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's on the Fantasy Football Today podcast. Thank you, Chris and Frank. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, Adam. Good luck, unless we're going against each other.
Yeah, we are going against each other in one
league. There you go. So bad luck.
Worst of luck to you.
Actually, I don't want to say bad luck given how week 2 went. Just I hope your players are bad, but healthy.
Don't say break a leg either.
No, just stay healthy.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Next week, we got Twitch again, noon to 1, and then at 4 p.m. Eastern, the home team watch party presented by Lowe's. It's going to be a fun one, Chiefs and Patriots. So we'll talk to you then, and good luck, everybody. We'll see you later.